So, Steve, that's 2 wins on the trot and a very different performance, a real battle of you, and we really had to fight for that one.
We certainly did, yeah. Week's a long time in football, and obviously last Tuesday we were licking our wounds after losing to Stansfeld, but yeah, we responded really well. Great win on Saturday against Snodland, but for me, Tuesday away, difficult conditions, Larkfield a good side, keep a clean sheet and get the win. Yeah, I'll put it right up there as one of my most pleasing results as manager.
Yeah, because like I say, it's not being derogatory, but remember, it wasn't the greatest quality we've had to play this season. But I'd say that's been our best performance overall of the season so far.
I remember coming off at half time and saying to the boys, it's actually been a really enjoyable game of football to watch. Very high tempo, both sides moving the ball around quickly. A lot of credit to Larkfield. They are relentless. They play everything really fast, free kicks, goal kicks, throw-ins, everything's straight back at you. You don't get a chance to breathe, and I think they'll suffocate a lot of opposition, particularly at home this season. So to stand up and weather that and also provide our own threat was it was really good.
Yeah, because it was also interesting that you actually named the same team again after the weekend. I mean, what was the thing behind that? 2 games consecutively where we got the same team again at last.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever had the opportunity to do that this season. We certainly haven't taken it if the opportunity was there, but I just felt, Stansfield, we weren't happy, needed a response, came back, beat Snodland, who were a dangerous opponent by the way, so everybody declared themselves fit and well, which again doesn't always happen. Couldn't really see any logical reason to change it. Obviously the people on the bench or not included in the squad, that's frustrating, but I think if you're winning, sometimes you just have to respect continuity.
I mean, if we're being honest, they probably had the better start, and George pulled off a great save really early on. But after the first 10 minutes, we weathered that, and I think we came into it, and we were having by far the better chances, really. And I thought we probably shaded that first half because of that.
Okay. I mean, Bent's definitely made a fantastic save, early doors, a fantastic save. And there was another ball that zinged across our 6-yard box, which was just tantalising from their striker's point of view. We definitely grew into it. I thought our movement started to cause some problems. Regan and Josh down the right, doubling up, started to cause some problems. Jack Gallagher was coming into some little pockets, bringing a defender with him, which was opening up a little bit of space. I thought it was a very close game. And if I'm honest, it felt like it could have gone either way. It was 0-0 at half time, which the only thing that was missing was a goal. I felt like both of us probably could and should have. Their keeper made a fantastic save from Jack Gallagher down to his right. So I felt we were both. It was a good game. I thought we both played our part in it.
Well, like I say, you got 0-0 at half time. I mean, what do you say to them? Because again, we keep coming out and push and create even more chances till Wolves eventually got us ahead again.
Talked about concentration. Said it's going to be a tight game. Said with the surface being quite slick because of the rain. And the intensity that they were playing with, just said got to make sure you don't make any basic mistakes in terms of positions or in terms of covering each other. Just told them to keep going. To be quite honest, I felt like their left back was starting to be a little bit aware of Regan's pace and he was dropping off a little bit. I thought the left centre half was following Jack into some areas he probably didn't really want to go. So some spaces were starting to open up that I felt we could possibly exploit. Festos running at them, got the so-called simulation penalty, which I'm not really having myself, but we were causing our fair share of problems, and we just needed one of them to drop for us.
But I think it was also the fact that we were getting the ball away and taking our chances, which we hadn't been doing at the very start of the season or last season. People were having shots and getting chances in all the time throughout the game.
I mean, we got a genuine goal for it. You see Rory shaping up on the edge of the box, and it's quite possible he can put it in the top bins, like he did against, was it Homestead, was it Punjab? I was on holidays, but I'm trying to cast my mind back, like he did in pre-season against Little Common. So we know he can do that. We obviously know Walder has got the set-piece threat. There's 2 and 2 for him. We've got other boys that definitely got a set-piece threat. Regan, we have got genuine goal threat throughout the team, which maybe we didn't always have last year.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the change when Walder's got 2 goals in 2 games, and they've been good goals. He's headed at the weekend, but he actually had a brilliant shot. It got a bit of a deflection, but it was one cracker of a shot, which last season he wouldn't have been doing, I don't think.
I feel like we've done more work on set pieces this season. And I'd say if you look at how many goals we've scored from them, Sidgey scored, Jim scored, obviously Walter's got a couple. Has Hudson scored yet? He will do sooner or later if he hasn't. So I feel like that's a result of us putting more work in. Because we was always chasing our tail a little bit last season, with me coming in late, that was something we never really got to work on. So, yeah.
But also, I think I said to you earlier how if you compare the starting 11s, last season to this season, you might argue, oh well, maybe it's the starting 11 might just shaded it be a bit stronger. I don't know, but this season, actually, you compare the squad, and our squad is much stronger. And I think that's shown because we haven't got any superstars now. We're playing as a team all the time, and I think that showed. That was what was crucial the other night. Boy, did they play as a team.
I mean, last season, yeah, we probably had 4 or 5 players who, because of their reputation, because of the money they were being paid, they kind of had to start, and rightly so. You know, what that means is if you're, let's say you're a backup centre forward, it's very hard when you know Trev's got the shirt to sort of genuinely believe you've got a good chance of getting fair game time. And we could use that same analogy 4 or 5 other positions in the team. Whereas this season, I would probably dispute whether it's not. I'd say it's a better team this season personally, but they're probably a bit more unknown. There's a lot of lads that are on more of an equal sort of footing. That makes competition better. It makes the camaraderie probably better. Training a little bit more intense. And I think everybody, if they are on the bench, or even the boys that aren't quite making the squad, they do genuinely believe they could. Whereas last season there was quite a lot of things that weren't going to.
As a fan, it's more entertaining to watch because we're playing differently. Last season, right, so it was right. Let's go forward, get Trev, boom. Whereas now we're playing as a team that we get 5 or 6 get forward and attack. You know, different players are scoring and coming at it. And as a team overall, I think you're right. Like I said, on paper, you might think, oh, last season looked a bit stronger, but actually, I think the performances are better.
It's early doors. I mean, don't forget last season we had Bill at the start, who we're going to meet again on Saturday, who at one point I think he was second top goal scorer in the league. So it wasn't necessarily all about Trev. Trev played his part. Trev was fantastic. Really grateful for his contribution, but we've had to go a different way. Circumstances are a bit different. I've actually had the opportunity to put the squad together as opposed to, last season, and we've gone a slightly different way. And at the moment, it's doing okay, but not going to get ahead of ourselves. We're only one result from another post-mortem into what's gone wrong. So I'm not going to get carried away with it.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can look back and that last 10 minutes, they had a free kick, and then corner after corner, and we were defending.
Yeah.
And you would think, last season we probably would have conceded an equaliser. But there was just no way they were going to let that happen. I thought we did well. And even like when you brought the subs on, the subs made a difference. They all contributed.
I think that's why it was probably one of my... I think that's why it's probably one of my most pleasing performances. But again, look, let's put it in perspective. 3 times this season, in fact 4 times, including Rust Hall, we've thrown away a lead. So let's not pretend we're like it's some invincible defending machine. We're a work in progress. The grit and determination that people put in on Tuesday and Saturday was fantastic. It was a response that was needed after the Stansfeld loss, and not just the Stansfeld loss, the fact that we hadn't won in 4 games before that. We kind of laid it down to the boys. Like we said, what do you want to be? Everybody, when I asked them individually, said they thought we could be in and around the playoffs this season. However, if you're going to go 4 games without a win, you're not. You're going to be a bottom half side. They've turned a corner in the short term. They've shown a great resilience, but they've now got to back that up. They've got to back it up, and they've got to back it up, and they've got to back it up, and they've got to make sure that no one comes to the Colverdon thinking they're going to get an easy game.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It all becomes habitual. When you let in late goals, guess what? It happens every game because you start thinking this is what's going to happen. When you keep clean sheets, you start believing it. You start feeling like we're not going to let a goal in because we've got it covered, and we're not at that stage yet. We've kept 2 clean sheets this season. 1 against Kennington on the first day, and 1 on Tuesday night. I remember them. I count them. We need a lot more of them, but they don't come easy. Beersted have got a hell of a lot of goal for it. Then we've got Glebe, who've got a hell of a lot of goal for it. No one's going to give us anything easy, and we're not patting ourselves on the back. But it was very pleasing to see the boys digging in, putting their bodies on the line.
Well, the proof of that is going to you mentioned Bearsted, because they're going to be reckoning they can push for playoffs, if not more, and that's going to be a real test for us to see if we can carry it on. I mean, what do you expect to come from that? Because they're going to be thinking now, this isn't going to be the easy game we thought it was, and we must be going in thinking, well, we actually can take we can take this to them now.
Do you know what? I think anybody who goes into any skiffle game thinking it's going to be easy has made a fatal mistake before they start, and that's proven by the results every single day. Beersted are going to be up there. They've got a good squad. There's obviously a few familiar faces coming back. We spoke about Billy, also Nods, Palmby are all there. They're going well. They've got a few games in hand of us, a bit like Larkfield, so it's important we try and keep in sort of striking distance by getting some points. I think they'll play football. I think they like to move the ball around. They've got a big target centre forward. They've got some good wingers. They'll have Billy in the 10, I would imagine. And they did like to play out from the back last season. So they're a good side, but we're a good side if we're on it. We've just got to make sure we bring the best version of ourselves, and you guys get behind us and get 300 through the door, and everyone will be happy.
Well, fingers crossed that's going to happen, isn't it?
I hope so.
Cheers.
Cheers.